Hello students, this video is for class 9 students for the subject English, chapter 4, and the name of the lesson is peace. You'll find this in page number 62, so kindly turn to your page number 62 and get ready. Before starting our lesson, let's read this excerpt, means extract, from Zlata's diary, a young girl who wrote her diary from 1991 to 1993 during the Bosnian War. Now, Bosnian War, it was an international armed conflict that took place in Bosnia and Herzegovina, a country in Europe. Alright, so let's see what she wrote. Monday, March 15, 1993. There are no trees to blossom and no birds, because the war has destroyed them as well. There is no sound of birds twittering in springtime. There aren't even any pigeons, the symbol of Sarajevo. No noisy children, no games. Even the children no longer seem like children. They have had their childhood taken from them, and without that, they can't be children. It's as if Sarajevo is slowly dying, disappearing. Life is disappearing. So how can I feel spring when spring is something that awakens life? And here, there is no life. Here, everything seems to have died. Now, students, kindly reflect on this extract, okay, and after that try to answer the given questions down there below that is, give 2 words phrases to describe the scene, and the other one, give 3 words to describe Zlata's feeling. Now for the first one, scene, in case if you don't know, means a situation or the location or the place. All right, so here for an example, I can help you here. Number 1, the scene. It was a war ravaged, right? War ravaged. For the next one, words to describe her feelings. So you have to write down what you felt she was feeling while she was writing this particular diary. Okay, so it can be weary, can be hopelessness, and so on. So kindly do that. Okay, complete the work. Now the next one is we have to complete the web chart with the words that which you associate with these situations. Example for peace, word that can be associated with peace, progress, right? War, destruction. Example has been given there, so you have to do it. Okay, so anyway, let's see what we can do. Peace, we already know. Progress, happiness, love, brotherhood, trust, amity. So these are the words associated with peace. It can be more than this. Okay, if you have in mind, kindly write them down there. The next one, war, death, blood, grief, destructions, hatred, distrust. Can be more than this, right? So I'm sure you must be having a lot of words that you can associate with war and peace. So kindly do and fill the chart. Okay, now let's discuss about the keywords of this lesson, some of the word meaning. Okay, now the first one, furnished, meaning to stock or provide or to fill. Harmony means the combination of simultaneously sounded musical notes to produce a pleasing effect in this poem, actually. All right, deed, it's a legal document. Now legal means permitted by law. Sealed means fastened or closed securely. Banned, something not allowed by an official order. Clear? So these are the keywords. Next, let's discuss about the poet. The poet's name has not been revealed. The only thing that we get to know about this poet is they have given there anonymous. So what is anonymous? Is it the name of the poet? No. Anonymous means of unknown name. Known, unknown means not known, right? Unknown names, or whose name is withheld, which means whose name is not revealed. Okay, anonymous means no name, unknown name, or whose name was not revealed, whose name was withheld. Clear? So we don't have a name, we don't know who the poet is. Clear? Who wrote the poem. All right, the poet probably must have come from a war-torn country. Okay, he must be a lover of peace, a person whose innate desire was to see the world united. So this is all I can share about the poet. Clear? The poet, no name, must have come from a country where there was war, and he must be a lover of peace, and he is a person who was yearning to see the world united and peaceful. Okay, now before I start explaining, let me read the poem once for everyone. Clear? Now you can take your textbook and also read along with me in your own respective places. Clear? Number one, I'll start here. Okay, I'd, I'd like to build a world a home and furnish it with love, grow apple trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once all standing hand in hand and hear them echo through the hills. Ah, peace throughout the land. Last night I had the strangest dream I ever had before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to end war and put it in a deed. I dreamed I saw a room somewhere, and the room was full of men and women, and the people they were signing said, "We'll never fight again." And when the paper was all signed and sealed, and a million copies made, there was cheering in the street and grateful prayers indeed. I'd like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and swords and guns and uniforms banned throughout the land. Last night I had the strangest dream I ever had before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to end war and never fight like before. So this is the poem. Now we'll discuss it stanza wise. Alright. Now the first stanza. The first stanza is here under the first stanza. I'd like to build a world, a home, and furnish it with love. Here the poet mean, he or she did not use the word house, right? Instead, he or she used the word home. Yes or no? Now, home generally refers to a building which is filled with love, where there is furniture, where there is comfort, where there is company, all right, and where there is a sense of belongingness, all right. So he said he wishes to build that kind of home, all right, and it will be filled with love. And the next line, grow apple trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. Now see, we all know what doves represent. Yes or no? It represents peace. In the same way, apple trees and honeybees also represent something. Okay. Now apple trees, in some places they are referred to as tree of love. In some places it represents prosperity. In some place abundance, love, you know, peace, honesty, purity. All right. On the other hand, even honeybee has meaning, and they represent love, or maybe community or teamwork. All right. So this line shows that he wishes to build a home which is filled with love, and then it surrounded by, or filled with uh, prosperity, honesty, peace, and where everyone work together to change the world for the better. Clear? So this is about the type of world, the type of home the poet wishes to have. All right. Now, the next stanza. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. Now, the first line. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. The poet doesn't, he literally doesn't mean that he is like interested in teaching the world to sing. He actually mean to say that he would like to teach the world to live in perfect harmony, to live in complete agreement with the other. He wishes the world to be united, right? So this is the reason why he wished to teach the people to, live in harmony, wherein he can hold it in his arms. This next thing, I'd like to hold it in my arms. This reveals that he wishes to embrace this world as his own, something that he can love and cherish. Okay, and he wishes to keep it company. The next one, I'd like to see the world for once all standing hand in hand. This line reveals that the poet wishes to see the world united. Hand in hand means he wishes to see the world united, where everyone, agrees and unites together and lives in unity. Clear? And hear them echo through the hills. Peace throughout the land. See, and he wishes to hear that this message that there is peace all over the land. He wishes to hear that. Okay, and this next line, peace throughout the land. This reveals it. And the day he get to hear this message, he will be content, he will be satisfied. All right, so this is what he wants. The next stanza, last night I had the strangest dream I ever had before. So this line reveals that he had a dream, and the dream was so unusual. It was the strangest dream he ever had. All right, I dreamt the world had agreed to end war and put it in a ditch. So the dream that he dreamt was that the world had agreed to end war and put it, and they had, placed and put it in a paper, in a deed. All right, deed means it's a means it is a legal document. So they have placed it. It's not in ordinary paper, but in a legal document. Clear? So that was his dream. The dream continues. Okay, I dreamed I saw a room somewhere, and the room was full of men and women, and the people they were signing said we'll never fight again. So in his dream, remember, he saw people signing, right? Where I'm like, he dreamed that the world had agreed to end war, right? So in that dream he saw that there was a room somewhere, and the room was full of men and women, and this men and women, they were signing a paper, and that paper read, "Will never fight again." So they were all signing one paper. Okay, so it was a paper where it promises that they will never fight again. Now the following line of stanza, and when the paper was signed and sealed and 1,000,000 copies made, there was cheering in the streets and grateful prayers indeed. The stanza, the first part, and when the paper was signed and sealed. So when after the papers were signed and after they were closed, secured properly, and after 1,000,000 copies was made, the message must have spread in the streets. All right, and so people started to cheer, and cheer means shout for joy in praise. All right, so they started to rejoice, they started to shout, and they started to pray. Okay, they started to offer prayers, because as a sign of gratitude, because their wishes came true. So this is about the poet's dream. Okay, now the next stanza. I'd like to see the world for once all standing hand in hand, and swords and guns and uniforms banned throughout the land. See, this line, the first sentence, I'd like to see the world for once all standing hand in hand. This is a repetition of this third stanza. All right, so this reveals that the poet he really desires, he really would like to see the world united. Clear? He's stressing on this point. Okay. And swords and guns and uniforms banned throughout the land. This line, see, he wishes that not not any other thing. Okay, he especially wished these swords, guns, and uniforms to be banned throughout the land, all over the world. Okay, why? He wishes to see these things banned because these are the sources or the products of war, and because they represent war, he wished them to be banned. In other words, he wished war is banned throughout the land, throughout the world. Okay, that was what he wished. Now, last night I had the strangest dream I ever had before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to end war and never fight like before. Now, these lines are also repeated again, right? So this shows that no, this shows that he has the intention to stress and or emphasize about his desire, his innate desire for a war-free world. He really wishes to see the world free from war. Okay, and he wished that peace prevail over this land. So this is the poem written, beautiful poem written by this poet. Unfortunately we don't know his name, right? So this is all about the poem. I hope you got it. Now let's discuss about the figures of speech utilized by the poet in this poem. Now, figures of speech, as we all know, is a phrase or word that has a different meaning than its literal or its actual meaning, right? The word may seem like something, but the actual meaning is different. Yes or no? So now, figures of speech utilized here: metaphor, refrain, and imagery. Okay, now metaphor is the first thing that we're going to discuss now. So for this, I think you can also turn to your page number 64. You'll get more idea there now. Now, a metaphor is a figure of speech that describes a subject by asserting that it is on some point of comparison the same as another otherwise unrelated object. So the example of metaphor used here is the second stanza. I would like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. That represents a choir, right? So here a choir is, compared, made a comparison with a peaceful world. Okay, instead of using the world, the poet has used a choir to represent a peaceful world. Got it? Or a united world. Okay, next, refrain. Refrain is usually a set of lines that are, repeated in the poems to emphasize or to underline or stress an idea or a thought. So that was done by the poet, and the particular example for this is I'd like to see the world for once all standing hand in hand. Remember that line that was repeated, right? And even that line, last night I had the strangest dream. So these are the lines repeated by the poet to put stress or put emphasis on this idea about his desire to have a peaceful world, right? So this is an example for refrain. And for imagery, imagery means, you can, in short, we can say that it's are those words that gives us mental picture. All right, you just read the word and you get a picture on your head. So example for that: grow apple trees and honeybees. When you read that line, I'm sure you get a picture, right? Now, another example for this is, and the room was full of men and women. Now, when you read this line, you get a mental picture of how that room looked like, right? So this is an example of imagery. Okay, so this is all for this lesson. There is also rhyming words, but I'm sure you all know that, right? For instance, for this rhyming pair for this poem piece, the first, you'll find one in the first stanza, that is home, not home, I'm sorry, love and doves. Yes or no? The last word, just see there. The next stanza you have harmony and company. Those are rhyming words, and you have few more. All right, So this is it for this lesson. Okay, thank you class and take care.